What if I told you that most gardeners around the world are working 10 times harder than they need to? Every single season, buying seeds, replanting, nursing seedlings from scratch, and praying the weather cooperates, and then doing it all over again the next year. It's exhausting. But right now, quietly growing in gardens from New Zealand to Colombia to Kenya, there is a fruit tree that laughs at that cycle. You plant it once, and then it feeds you abundantly for the next 8 to 12 years. Most people have never heard of it. Today, that changes. Meet the Tamarillo, scientific name Solanum betaceum. And if that name sounds familiar, it should. It belongs to the Solanaceae family, the same botanical family as tomatoes, peppers, eggplants, and potatoes. That family connection is part of what makes Tamarillo so fascinating, because while it shares DNA with the humble garden tomato, it has taken evolution in an entirely different direction. This is not a vine crawling along the ground. This is a tree, a fast-growing, prolific perennial fruit tree, and that single fact changes everything about how you grow it, harvest it, and benefit from it. The Tamarillo is also commonly called the tree tomato, and the name is earned. The fruit looks strikingly similar to a large plum tomato. Oval, smooth-skinned, and vivid. Depending on the variety, the skin ranges from deep crimson red to golden yellow to rich orange, sometimes with faint purple streaks along the surface. Inside, the flesh is dense and juicy, orange or yellow, surrounding a core of small, flat, disc-shaped seeds arranged in two lobes. Again, very much like a tomato cut in cross-section. The taste is a sharp, tangy, complex blend. Think tomato, passion fruit, and a hint of Cape gooseberry all at once. Some varieties lean sweeter, others are intensely acidic. Either way, the flavor is bold and unforgettable. The tree itself is equally distinctive. At full maturity, a Tamarillo tree typically reaches 2 to 5 meters in height, roughly 6 to 16 feet, with a slender straight trunk and large, soft, heart-shaped leaves that can span 30 centimeters or more. The leaves are slightly velvety to the touch, and the plant carries a faint, earthy fragrance. When it flowers, it produces small, pale pink to lavender, star-shaped blossoms in clusters, delicate, beautiful, and intensely attractive to pollinators. And here is the detail that stops most experienced gardeners cold when they first hear it. A healthy Tamarillo tree can begin producing fruit within 18 months of planting, from seed. That is, faster than many fruit trees you might be used to. Faster than mango, faster than avocado, faster than citrus. And once it starts, it does not stop easily. The Tamarillo originates from the Andes region of South America, specifically the highland areas of what are today Peru, Ecuador, Bolivia, Chile, and Colombia. Indigenous communities in those regions cultivated and consumed this fruit for centuries before European contact. The Spanish colonizers encountered it, recognized its value, and over time it spread across the globe, carried by traders, missionaries, and agricultural explorers into Asia, Africa, and the Pacific Islands. What makes Tamarillo truly rule-breaking, compared to nearly every other fruiting plant most home gardeners know, is this. It combines the productivity of a vegetable garden crop with the longevity and structure of a fruit tree. It doesn't ask you to start over every year. And as you're about to discover, the place it grows, the speed at which it grows, and the conditions it demands are far more accessible than most people assume. One of the most important truths about Tamarillo is also one of the most encouraging. This plant is not precious. It does not demand tropical perfection. It does not require a specific soil type found only in one corner of the world. But it does have a clear set of preferences. And understanding those preferences is the difference between a tree that thrives and one that struggles. Tamarillo is fundamentally a highland subtropical plant. In its native Andean habitat, it grows naturally at elevations between 1,000 and 3,000 meters above sea level, where temperatures are cool and moderate rather than hot and humid. The ideal temperature range for healthy growth and fruit production is 10 degrees Celsius to 24 degrees Celsius. That's roughly 50 degrees Fahrenheit to 75 degrees Fahrenheit. It handles mild frost poorly. Extended frost will kill it, but it equally dislikes intense, dry heat. If you live in a climate with mild summers, cool winters, and reliable moisture, you are living in Tamarillo territory, even if you've never grown one. In terms of soil, Tamarillo performs best in well-drained, fertile, loamy or sandy loam soils, with a pH between 5.5 and 7.0. It is sensitive to waterlogging. The roots cannot tolerate standing water, so raised beds or slopes with natural drainage are ideal. Organic matter in the soil significantly boosts both growth rate and fruit quality. Regular mulching helps retain moisture and regulate soil temperature, especially in regions with seasonal temperature swings. Today, the top producing and exporting countries of Tamarillo are New Zealand, Colombia, Ecuador, Kenya, and Ethiopia. New Zealand, interestingly, is responsible for significant commercial development of the fruit. Growers there developed sweeter, less acidic varieties in the mid-20th century and helped create export markets that now reach Europe, Asia, and North America. Colombia and Ecuador continue to grow Tamarillo extensively at the domestic level, where it remains a staple ingredient in sauces, juices, and cooking. In Kenya and Ethiopia, highland region farmers have adopted Tamarillo cultivation as a viable cash crop at altitude, where many other fruits struggle to perform. Now, the growth timeline. This is where Tamarillo genuinely impresses. Plant a Tamarillo seed in quality potting mix, keep it warm and moist, and germination occurs within 2 to 3 weeks. The seedling grows rapidly. By month 3 to 4, it's a recognizable young tree with several sets of true leaves. By month 6 to 8, it's pushing toward 1 meter in height. By month 12 to 15, the first flowers may appear. And by month 18 to 24, from seed, in good conditions, you are harvesting real ripe fruit. That timeline is significantly compressed compared to most perennial fruit trees. A mature tree well maintained can yield 20 to 30 kilograms of fruit per year, and under optimal conditions with proper pruning and fertilization, some growers report even higher yields. The productive lifespan of a Tamarillo tree in good conditions is 8 to 12 years, sometimes longer. After heavy production years, light pruning of the canopy encourages new fruiting wood and extends the tree's vigor. The most exciting part for home gardeners, Tamarillo grows remarkably well in large containers. A 30 to 50-liter pot with excellent drainage and regular feeding can sustain a productive tree on a balcony, rooftop, or patio. You do not need a farm. You need a pot, good soil, and a position with at least 6 hours of daily light. When you look at the nutritional profile of this fruit alongside its medicinal properties and its environmental role, you begin to understand why serious growers protect it the way they do. Starting with human nutrition, Tamarillo is a low-calorie, nutrient-dense fruit. A 100-gram serving contains approximately 31 to 40 calories, making it naturally suitable for weight-conscious diets. But the calorie count is almost beside the point when you look at what's packed inside. Tamarillo is an outstanding source of vitamin C, with levels comparable to or exceeding oranges in some varieties, which supports immune function, collagen synthesis, and iron absorption. It contains significant amounts of vitamin A and provitamin A carotenoids, which are essential for eye health, immune defense, and skin integrity. The fruit also delivers measurable levels of vitamin E, a fat-soluble antioxidant that protects cells from oxidative damage. From a mineral standpoint, Tamarillo provides potassium, critical for heart function and blood pressure regulation, along with calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, and iron. For a fruit, its iron content is notably useful, particularly in regions where dietary iron deficiency is common. It also contains dietary fiber, supporting digestive regularity and gut health, and chlorogenic acid, a polyphenol antioxidant that has been studied for its role in regulating blood sugar levels and reducing the risk of type 2 diabetes. Research published in multiple food science and nutritional journals has highlighted Tamarillo's anthocyanin content in red skin varieties. Anthocyanins are powerful antioxidants associated with reduced inflammation, improved cardiovascular health, and protection against certain cancers. The red and purple pigments in the skin are particularly rich in these compounds, which is one reason nutritionists recommend consuming the flesh alongside some of the inner skin, despite its bitter taste. Medicinally, traditional Andean communities have used tamarillo leaves and fruit in remedies for tonsillitis, sinusitis, and respiratory congestion, warming the leaves and applying them topically to the throat and chest. While formal clinical trials remain limited, the antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory properties of tamarillo extracts have been documented in preliminary research from South American universities. The fruit is also commonly used in traditional medicine for managing high blood pressure, with its potassium and anthocyanin combination providing a plausible biochemical mechanism for this effect. For animals, tamarillo leaves and fruit pulp are used in some Andean farming communities as supplemental fodder for pigs, goats, and poultry, providing micronutrients and variety to feed. The leaves contain alkaloids that limit their use in large quantities for ruminants, but small amounts as dietary supplement appear tolerable and beneficial. Environmentally, tamarillo contributes meaningfully to the ecosystems where it grows. Its flowers are a consistent and reliable source of nectar for bees and other pollinators, making it a valuable companion plant in mixed orchards and gardens. Its large leaves create significant ground cover and shade, reducing soil moisture evaporation and suppressing weeds beneath the canopy. In highland regions prone to erosion, tamarillo's root system helps stabilize soil on slopes. And because it is a perennial, not replanted each year, it avoids the repeated soil disturbance that annual cropping causes, improving long-term soil structure and microbial health. Every year, millions of home gardeners and small-scale farmers invest enormous energy into plants that demand everything from them and offer a single season in return. There is nothing wrong with that. Annual gardening is beautiful and valuable. But there is a quiet revolution happening among growers who have started to think differently. They are asking a better question. What can I plant once, care for well, and come back to year after year while it keeps giving? Tamarillo is one of the most honest answers to that question. The case for growing tamarillo yourself is not built on hype, it is built on documented reality. Within 2 years of planting, you can be harvesting fruit from your own tree, fruit that contains more vitamin C than most people get from their daily diet, fruit that you can eat fresh, blend into smoothies, cook into chutneys, reduce into sauces, or dry and preserve. A single mature tree producing 20 to 30 kilograms of fruit per year is not a small thing. It is a genuine, meaningful food source for a family. For the farmers watching this, the economic dimension is real and growing. Global demand for exotic and functional fruits has accelerated significantly over the past decade, driven by health-conscious consumers in Europe, North America, and East Asia seeking new superfoods. Tamarillo exports from New Zealand and Colombia consistently reach premium markets, and specialty grocery retailers in the UK, Germany, Japan, and Australia actively source tamarillo at prices that reward quality growers. If you have highland land sitting underutilized, land that might be too cool for bananas or mangoes, tamarillo may be precisely the crop that makes that land productive and profitable. There is also a deeper reason to grow this plant, and it deserves to be spoken clearly. Biodiversity is being lost faster than at any point in recorded human history. Thousands of traditional food plants that indigenous communities cultivated, selected, and improved over centuries, are disappearing from active cultivation because industrial agriculture has narrowed the world's diet to a handful of commodity crops. Tamarillo is not yet endangered, but it is underappreciated, undercultivated, and unknown to the vast majority of gardeners who would love it if they simply had the chance to try it. Saving and sharing tamarillo seeds is an act of preservation. The seeds are easy to collect. Simply scoop them from a ripe fruit, rinse and dry them, and store them in a cool, dark place. They remain viable for 1 to 2 years under good storage conditions. When you grow a tamarillo, save its seeds and pass them to a neighbor, a school garden, or a community growing space. You are participating in something larger than your own harvest. You are keeping a living piece of Andean agricultural heritage alive and moving forward. The world needs more people who think like that, more people who look at a seed and see not just a plant, but a responsibility, a relationship, and a future. So here is the call, and it is a simple one. Find a tamarillo seed or a young seedling. Plant it, give it good soil, consistent water, a sheltered position, and patience. In 18 months, it will begin to repay you in ways that no annual crop ever could. If this video showed you something new today, something you'll actually use, that's what this channel is for. Hit subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. And if you already grow Tamarillo, drop your experience in the comments. Your knowledge might be exactly what another grower needs to get started. Plant once. Harvest for years. That is not a secret anymore. It's yours.